Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a different video because today I want to talk to you about quitting dairy. I know that there's a lot of reasons why you might have to quit with dairy, or maybe you just want to do it, and I just want to share my experience, share with you some kind of tips that may be helpful. And of course that doesn't mean it's gonna be easier or that I'm gonna give you the magic solution to it. For me it was a big step. I was super used to it. I've been lactose intolerant for super long. I actually used to eat lactose-free milk, but my weakest point has always been cheese, for example, and it took me quite a long time to get used to not eating dairy. And even with that, I'm still not perfect and I still cheat every once in a while. And I've been recommended by nutritionists various diets without dairy in the past and even now. And of course you need to get blood tests and get like a professional to tell you what's best for you. If that has already happened, because I see that there's probably two options here, that one is that you want to become a vegan, for example, which also means that you might need to get your blood test to check how everything is going for you. I feel like it's super different if it's something you're convinced to do it. That's probably gonna be easier because it's something you're choosing to do. Otherwise, when there's someone telling you to do it and you wouldn't do it naturally, I think it's more difficult, and that's kind of what happened to me. At that point they told me that lactose wasn't enough for me to take out of my diet, that I had to completely go dairy free. It's actually gonna help your health, so you kind of have to do it. But I'm just gonna share some tips here and there, because if you're starting right now from zero, it can be helpful, although I know that there's a lot of information out there and that it's super easy to kind of know what to do or which substitutes to use. My first problem was coffee, because I don't drink black coffee. I need to have my coffee with milk, and I couldn't find the milk that I tolerated. Like, I hated all the milks with the coffee. Like, the coffee just tasted too strong. The milks, I felt like they were too watery and I couldn't take it. So when it comes to drinking milk alone, it was easier because I find some of the plant-based milks nice to drink alone, but when it comes to coffee, it was horrible for me at the beginning. So try milks, like seriously. There's a ton of combinations and plant-based milks, because probably someone's just gonna tell you, I just drink oat milk and that's super good for me, and you're gonna try it and maybe you're gonna hate it and you're gonna be like, that's not for me, I can't do it. But seriously, you're gonna find the one that you can tolerate and that's gonna be good, and from there you're gonna start loving it. For example, I started with soya milk. Soya milk was the only milk I could put with coffee, and right now I hate soya milk. But at that moment, that was the one that I kind of liked, and I had friends that used to drink oat milk because oat milk seems to be like the queen of the milks, but that doesn't mean you're gonna like it, or at least not at the beginning. So I started with soya milk, and then when I moved to London, I kind of tried oat milk and I loved oat milk because I was already used to some kind of plant-based milk, so the coffee was already tasting better to me. Those are the ones that I love the most right now. So that's hazelnut milk and that's coconut milk. And I put both of these milks, I mean not together obviously, but I use these milks for coffee and I love them. They are amazing. I mean, I have a friend, I don't know if she watches my videos, but I have a friend that used to have every day a mocha with hazelnut milk. I never understood. I was always like, how can you drink that? That's gonna be disgusting. Now I'm the one doing it. Same with coconut milk. I was working as a barista, which is also a good help because I could heat them up properly with milk frothers. The guy that I was working with at that moment told me how amazing coconut milk smelled when it was frothed, and I decided to try it and I loved it. And I changed and I went to coconut milk. Your taste is gonna change the more you try, so I can assure you you're gonna find the milk that works for you. Also, another thing is that not all dairy-free milks work. There's some milks that have a harder time mixing with coffee. All the milks can get separated from the coffee, but almond, for example, is one of the easiest one to get that happen. I don't know how to say that. If you heat the milk too much, for example, it can get those clumps on the top. You see like the coffee and some weird white spots. That's because the milk has been heated up too much and it gets kind of separated from the coffee, and that looks disgusting. You can drink it, but it doesn't mean that it's always gonna happen, so keep that in mind, and eventually you're gonna find the spot where it works. If it doesn't, just change the milk, try something different, and you'll find what you're looking for. When you go out, you go to a bar, you want to order a cappuccino and you want it with oat milk or plant-based milks, that can be done. I've heard before that, oh no, I can't do a cappuccino with this milk. But The only milk they cannot do it with is almond. All the other milks I've worked with, coconut, hazelnut, oat, soya, I think that's all. These milks can be frothed. They can make cappuccinos, lattes, whatever you want, for sure. But almond can't. Like, almond is just gonna get super bubbly and the bubbles are gonna disappear in 3 seconds. But the others can. It's actually possible. They do. They froth. So just extra information here. I feel like I've been talking about milks for 1,000 hours, but I still have something else to tell you. I know that there's milks that are super expensive, but I promise you that there's options for everything. I'm just gonna tell you prices. So Root Health are around $250, something like that, which is super expensive, I know. But for example, these ones have quite a lot of sugar. I mean, it has 4.4 grams of sugar, which is quite a lot, but I just use them for coffee because they are expensive and I love them, but that's kind of my treat. My Root Health options just for coffee. And then Oatly is about $150. This one is pretty famous here. I don't know if everywhere else is too. And it's super good. It also has kind of the same amount of sugar, but it's cheaper. But also there's cheaper options. This almond one, I buy them in Lidl. These ones are 55p, something like that. So they're super cheap. And now, yeah, I'm done with milks. I'm moving to something else. But now I want to tell you too that my biggest problem was cheese. That's where I cheat sometimes because cheese is just amazing to me. But what helped me a lot reduce my consume on cheese and now just eating cheese every once in a while, to say it somehow, it's nutritional yeast. If you're gonna go dairy free, you really need to have this, or at least try it. You cannot avoid it if you haven't tried it yet. And that has a kind of, I'm not sure how to describe it to you, it has kind of a cheesy flavor. It's kind of salty, like a cheese powder, I would say. Obviously, it's not gonna taste exactly like cheese, don't expect that. But once you are not eating cheese, you're gonna miss this kind of flavor probably. And that's what's gonna get it to you. You can sprinkle this into everything. I seriously put it everywhere. Also, this is super useful in sauces. I have at least one video already posted where I use the nutritional yeast on mac and cheese, for example, and you can make cheesy sauces with this. Seriously, it's amazing. And other examples, I put this when I make scrambled eggs, for example. I put this in soups. Yeah, I do that a lot. It can go everywhere. And you can either make sauces with tofu or cashews or even beans. I've tried that too and it just turns out good. So this is a super good option to try and it's seriously gonna make it a little bit better. And another thing that I liked a lot and that made me feel a little bit better is to make my own lasagna sauce. Bechamel. The whole lasagna sauce, it was kind of a little too much because I felt like it was a lot of milk. So I decided to make my own. Dairy-free, super easy and even gluten-free. And I've made lasagnas with that and it's so good. And you don't really miss the cheese. It's all mental in that case because when you eat it, you still have that thickness of the white sauce. It's just delicious. Like you're gonna check a recipe, you're gonna see that you need milk or milk, butter, cheese, whatever. Try to put your milk of choice instead and it's probably gonna work anyway. Most of my recipes are like that. Also about butters, it's super easy. There's a ton of vegan options out there. There's olive spreads, which I'm not a fan of, but there's soya butter that I find super good. At least the one that I'm buying here in London. I'll put a photo if I find it, but this one it's super good. I love it. I feel like it really tastes like butter and it's super amazing in all the dishes. Forgot my coffee. So I think I'm talking too much, so I'm just gonna finish with cooking creams. Yeah, you can find cooking creams super easy. I started using soya cooking creams. There's also coconut cooking creams, but coconut is tricky because the flavor is super strong, so you have to like it. But if you do, it's gonna make it so much better because you have coconut creams for cooking, you have coconut sweet creams for sweet dishes, like it's kind of a condensed milk because sweet coconut creams are extremely sweet, so you can use that as a condensed milk or for desserts, which is super good. For curry dishes and stuff like that, you would use coconut milk, which is already there. Quick thing here, you're already eating vegan dishes, for sure. There's recipes that are vegan that are super easy to make and that you're probably eating them already, because I feel like people get a little bit stressed when they need to cook for a vegan person, for example, and it's not that difficult. Just find a dish that it's not meat-based and probably you're gonna get with something that is already vegan and you already make it and you already eat it and you have never thought about it as being vegan. Stopping that now. But yeah, cooking creams, there's a ton of options too. And for example, I'm now using this Oatly cream, and this is amazing, and it's pretty cheap, and I know that it's super easy to find. And also I tried this one because I found that they have a whippable vanilla cream. So this is amazing on dessert. I know the whipping thing is kind of an add, like a plus that you are not always gonna get, but if you find something like this, it's amazing and you can use it. And this one is also amazing on soups. It makes it creamier and smoother, and it's amazing. So it's just like adding these kind of things to your dishes always makes them better. So I think that's gonna be it for today's video, because I've been talking for super long and I could keep going, but I think we have done enough for today. I would really like to know though, which is your favorite plant-based milk? How do you drink your coffee? I want to see if someone else has tried my milks, or someone else is having coconut coffees in the morning, for example. So leave a comment down below and tell me which one are you using with coffee. And if you would like to see more videos like this with me and my experience and just talking to the camera, you can also tell me, or give a like to this video. If it's more like than the others, I'll know that you want it, because I've also been trying to go gluten-free. I'm still not perfect in that one either. So if you would like to know more about it, or about something else that you would like me to talk about, you can also leave it on the comments. And with that said, I'm gonna go drink my coffee because I forgot about it, and it's actually a homemade pumpkin spice latte, because I saw everyone making the Starbucks one. I mean, and it's actually fine. It's fine. So as always, remember to subscribe if you want to see more, and to follow me on Instagram, because I'm really super active there and posting a lot of small and day-to-day recipes. So feel free to check that out. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one.